Who remembers the found footage craze of like the 2000s from the Blair Witch Projects? Well, there's other countries that did it right. Japan is one of them, and it's finally in America thanks to Shudder. And great movie theaters like Alamo Drafthouse decided to put these in the theaters. And this is Noroi the Curse. Am I saying it right? Probably not. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Noroi the Curse. My nose itches really bad. It might be the curse anyway. What's about? I'm not going to call it a simple premise. It's like a movie within a movie where it starts off with talking about how a guy, he makes these videos about supernatural events. And this is looking at the video outside of figuring out where this guy went because after one of his movies were made, he disappeared. And so it's kind of a watch the movie, but also what happened after the movie type of movie. But you could call it a pretty simple premise. Basically, there's a girl who's just absolutely cray-cray in the membrane, and there's also a psychic, a really crazy psychic, a girl that kind of gets fruitions and has premonitions, sixth sense, and a girl that's like telekinesis that can see things. And they all team up, not really on their own will, for this one girl that's just freaking crazy. And this is a long-ish paranormal activity type of found footage movie. So did I like it? I did. I could see how some people might be a little bit bored with it, but I do think that is the attention span of people because when looking at this compared to other found footage movies, this one takes its time. This one wants to explain a story. And I think that's just with the different culture of like American Paranormal Activity where it's like 86 minutes, bow, 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 bow. But this is a Japan one where it's an hour and 55 minutes. And you want to tell the story precisely, have interesting characters, have these weird, just overall scenarios in this movie that could lead you down different paths. I'm sorry, that was like popcorn and Sprite trying to come up and trying to hold that burp. But anyway, positives. The look of the movie. I'm a sucker for found footage. Guilty as charged. I know some people hate the shaky cam. I dig it. Sucks to suck for you, I guess. I like 3D. I like 4DX. I like found footage movies, so I really dig what this movie is trying to do. The creepiness factor of like what is going on. And this movie has a lot where it's like this witch, this Kabua kind of witch, or this demon, if you want to put it that way. Then you have these different characters of Kara, the girl, the parents, him, the main guy, his wife, the cameraman, this, psychic. There's a lot of characters, so you're trying to figure out where does each person play into this movie. And I do think at the very end, it is a nice package with the bow, even though there is a little bit of ambiguity with a young boy and exactly what they're playing with. And the worms. Like, there are things where it doesn't connect as well as I think it wants to, just because of how weird it is trying to go. And it does go freaking weird when it gets to that third act. Acting, overall, not bad. I do think some of it was either overdone, or you're just like, hey, simmer it down, or like, you can just totally tell it was fake on some levels of the acting. And you're just like, okay, I understand what you're trying to do there, but just tone it down. I know you're trying to put like this craziness to it, but it's like, I understand what you're doing, but it's okay, simmer down. But it's not scary, okay? And I think people need to go into that. It's more creepy of like just little things, right? Like you're in a neighborhood and there's dogs. Then you go back and all the dogs are gone. I don't know how it's filmed or how everything comes into fruition, but you're like, this is kind of creepy. Where'd all the people go? So the creep factor is tenfold in this movie. Pigeons. This weird guy just grabbing a pigeon. Like there's this weird imagery in this movie that really hits you hard of like, oh, what's going to happen next? What is that weird thing happening around the corner? And there isn't like, there's little weird things like with the boy and this weird face. And there are things like that that aren't really explained, especially with this like premonition and this girl drawing it. I just want to know more about what that face is. There is some things where it could be with fetuses, and you're probably thinking, what the freak are you talking about? And yeah, there's a really weird scene with fetuses, and you're just like, what is this? This is some creepy shit. And if you don't watch a lot of Japanese movies, they're not scared to push the envelope, okay? Especially with some horror movies. Just Asian movies in general, like South Korean movies, like Old Boy, they will push the envelope where you're just like, okay, there's zombie ass from Japan. There's Machine Girl. Am I saying that correctly? Machine Gun Girl, Machine Girl Gun. Like, there are movies out there, Suicide Club from Japan, that you're just like, oh, we're going there. And this kind of goes there with some of the things with suicide and things like that. But the ending of the movie is creepy. I was getting goosebumps through and throughout because I was like, oh, what? It's not even, it's, to me, I get goosebumps when I'm on a cruise, right? And you look out in the ocean and it's the unknown. And this movie does it with the forest, kind of like Blair Witch Project. To me, Blair Witch Project isn't scary, it's creepy. It's the woods of not knowing what is behind the tree, what is in the freaking shadows, because it's not like a house where you're like, oh, I can just open the door. No. Woods go on for acres. Acres upon acres, and it's freaking creepy. So that thought in my mind when watching this movie is like, oh, yeah, goosebumps are coming. Goosebumps are freaking coming. Then when you go to these old ancient houses, and you're just like, yep, goosebumps are coming even more. And you know for a fact, when something happens at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, shit. Like, there are things in this movie where you just go, you go, oh, shit moments. But it does take some time. Now, I think where either some people are going to really like that slow burn, there's a bug, slow burn factor, or some people are going to be like, I hate this slow burn, get to the point. And again, that could be a cultural thing, or it could just be an American thing about having attention span of like TikTok of like 30 seconds next, 30 seconds next. So there's that. But overall, Noroi, The Curse is a pretty good found footage film, and I'm glad I could watch it in the big screen at Alamo Drafthouse because I just like watching movies I've never heard of that it's a treat. It's a freaking treat, and thank you for letting me watch it on the big screen. So Nuri the Curse will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 70%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So there's only 2 critics. Looks like they are both a positive. Audience score is 74% with over 1,000. So it looks like a decent amount of people have seen this one. No critic consensus. 74-70. Chase out here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thanks, Bluefutopia. You Bluetonians. Take watch from a great down. Watch this tape tomorrow. Week from month. Near found you'll freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And yeah. Do you like found footage movies? I do.